The 15th of April, Sudan. Violent clashes erupted between two major military factions. Sudan's army, headed by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and the Rapid Support Forces led by General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, commonly known as Hemedti. But do you know, before becoming enemies, these two leaders were allies. In 2019, the duo worked together to oust the then President Omar al-Bashir, ending his 30 years of autocratic rule. Since then, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan has been the de facto head of state for Sudan's Transitional Governing Sovereign Council. On the other hand, there is the RSF, the Rapid Support Force. Majorly composed of the Janjaweed militias, which fought on behalf of the Sudanese government during the war in Darfur. The RSF was responsible for numerous atrocities against civilians. According to the Human Rights Watch, the RSF's actions in Darfur qualify as crimes against humanity. So, you can imagine what would be happening in Sudan now as Hemedti mobilizes his forces against al-Burhan's men.
Since December, we started to see more and more divides between between both men, and from 2 months ago, both men started to bring more troops in the capital. And on 1st of April, a civilian government was supposed to be formed, to be nominated, but it was postponed by Burhan and Hemedti because they were in disagreement over this political agreement. So since then, the divide started to increase, and 10 days ago, when the fight and the clashes started really in the capital, everybody in the country was expecting this situation.
Tensions have been building for months between Sudan's army and the paramilitary organization, Rapid Support Forces. Sudan was due to adopt a new framework for a transition to democracy. A final deal was to be signed earlier in April, under which both the army and the RSF were required to cede power. But a disagreement over the integration of the RSF into the military as a part of a transition towards civilian rule resulted in chaos.
In December last year, a political agreement was signed between Hemedti, Burhan, and the political parties, the civilians. And at this time, it was really a gap started to emerge between both men. Hemedti took the side of civilians, and he stated he recognized that the coup was a mistake, and he stated that no civilians or no protesters should be killed anymore in the street, and no politician should be arrested. And it took stance against also the army, the institution, saying that the army should let the power to the civilians and stop hanging to the power.